became, in 1959, when the new Abbey was built, this became the Priory. And the homes around there, I suspect that this one would have been on the corner across from Ryan Funeral Home. Does that look like that could be?
On the right there? Does that look like the original Ryan Funeral Home? Right?
Mm-hmm. It's before they built the Penning's Hall of Fine Arts in 1955. Mm-hmm. And this is another home near St. Norwood. This is the very beautiful
Culbertson House.
Culbertson, yeah. No, that was in East Pere.
Yeah, this is the Culbertson House on the river. One of the three dorms.
The girls' dorms.
Yeah, one of the girls' dorms is on that site.
Okay, I see.
And
there you go.
That's
it. That's it.
So we're going to take a look at North Broadway in De Pere. It's very colorful history. So colorful, I don't know where it is.
Far North Broadway.
Oh,
Go up.
Up.
We're down now, right there. Ooh, yep, a little more up. A little more up.
Right there,
There you
right
go.
there.
Gate.
Yes, that's what you called it.
Right.
Oh my.
These are the things that came and went on North Broadway from 1858, when the Crow's Nest was built, until recent years. The Crow's Nest originally fronted on Front Street, or the river, right?
Yep.
And this is the main entrance. It had been redone a couple of times, but this was the main entrance of that home.
Yep. The main traffic thoroughfare in 1858 would have gone past on Front Street.
And there is, at the lower level, there is a door here, and nobody knows the whole story about it. The stories of the Underground Railroad and all of that stuff, but there is a door there, which nobody bothered to find out what's on the other side of it, because it would probably cave in on it or something, but it went out into the yard and went down or something. And very beautiful house. Here's another angle of the rear of the house.
Oh, okay.
And the story was that people thought that it was turned. They picked the house up.
People thought it was, they picked it up and they rotated it.
They just altered the building.
Yeah.
So that it fronted Broadway instead of the river.
No, that's not true. This is a picnic. It was the Crow's Nest was a place for social gatherings, open to the community, 1858. And in the years since then, it had been a tenement building, a creamery. I think that actually it was a clinic of some kind. There were some
whole variety of uses, and then abandoned for a period of time.
But this particular photo shows that it also was a gathering spot for women with atrocious hats.
That might have been the next course.
Look at that. This looks like I'm gonna take off and fly. This one isn't far behind.
Oh no.
The thing about this is that why would you choose to sit right there? And the same thing here. It must have been a custom to find the most uncomfortable place to sit.
Filter.
This shows that when they had the pool there, I did some work on this. I wanted to see what it would look like without the pool, so I removed it.
Oh.
And I don't know when they put the paned windows in there, but it's a beautiful place. It's the main entrance here.
For a period of time, as the residence of the president of the college.
Yep.
Oh.
This is when it had been vacant for a number of years, and went on the auction block, and the opening bid was $3,000, and that's what I put down to buy the place.
Jeez.
I think it went for 10,000.
I think that's what he said the other day. Frank Van Vagel,
Wow.
It still was a good deal, but in 35, that's when the,
another shot of it.
think about the 30s.
Recession.
Yeah.
And there you have that. Take a look at Minahan Stadium, which was built in
you need to go?
1939, I believe.
No,
This is
I'm okay.
Okay.
the new stadium, an aerial of the artist's conception of the new Schneider Stadium. And this is where they decided to build Minahan. You can see this house was originally
Gone.
built by John Hockers.
Yeah.
And there's a story behind that, we'll get to that.
Oh,
But this is where they put it up.
You
oh,
can see the inside track, yeah,
Yep,
you got it there.
you can see where they're allowing for the press box up there. And they made it a little wider.
The original design in the articles we found, it was supposed to be modeled after Michigan State University's stadium, and the original plans that Minahan had wanted was for it to seat 10,000 people,
oh my.
which would have been larger than what the Packers were playing in at that time. There's the completed stadium,
1938.
Oh, my.
inside track.
And there you can see the beginnings of the Abbey Pond.
And the foundation for Van Gimmert Memorial across the street there. You zoom in, there we go.
Yep,
What year did the Van Gimmerts move over there?
51, I think.
Tom is here. 49?
Oh,
Okay.
well, 50.
Okay.
So that's the foundation for that. And then the Abbey Pond is not the Abbey Pond quite yet. That was actually a clay pit that the Hockers used. There was, if you zoom in, you can see the little tunnel there that went under the highway.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's a little tunnel there. There was a small train car that they load up with clay, and there was a track in there, and then the train car would take it over across the street where they would
That's
make the
ingenious.
bricks
Oh
out
my.
of the clay, the Hopper's brick.
Nice.
That's ingenious. Yeah.
We're on the outskirts of town. A lot of cars there.
And this is how it looked before they tore it down. 2009, this was taken.
Oh, 2009.
I don't know if there's an island still there or not. And this is the,
For the birds.
for the birds, right?
That building's still there.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looking at St. Norwood Abbey, which was originally
On the
on
campus.
the campus. And the new abbey was built
my.
in 1958 and 59 for a staggering cost of $3 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
The interior of the church was marble imported from Premontre, France.
oh,
And the ceilings
Good to
were, I think, 80 feet in the church because the reverberation in the Abbey church is 5 seconds.
Wow.
You hit a note and it hangs around for 5 seconds. This is,
By the way, and that if you zoom in on that upper part of the picture, I'm pretty sure, maybe someone can confirm for me, up on Webster Street up there,
oh yeah.
I think that's the Old Dutch. Does anybody remember the Old Dutch? Does that look like the Old Dutch? It's where Austin's is, or Sal's now.
oh,
I'm pretty sure that's
okay.
the Old Dutch there.
It's really changed.
Here is the $2.5 million,
Oh, to
the Abbey Church bell tower. The Abbey bells, there are 6 of them, I think. And they were made in Europe. And here you see, for the dedication, Abbot Colleen and Archbishop Cousins of Milwaukee, and Albert Meyer of Chicago, and Stanislaus B. Bona, and
Newts, or whatever that is. Newts, the guy from,
Newts,
yeah,
from the Netherlands,
yeah.
an aerial view.
Present day view.
and now it's beautiful.
Beautiful church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the scrim which is put in front of the pipes for the magnificent
Oregon.
organ that the Abbey has. It was built by the Cassavant brothers of Quebec, Canada.
Oh my.
And it's got 3 manuals and 4 ranks and 32 stops. And the Cassavant brothers started manufacturing organs in 1879. Most of them are in North America. They have produced over 3,000 organs, and at the time this one was finished, they said it was one of their best efforts. There's only one other Cassavant organ in Wisconsin at Our Savior's Lutheran Church. And this one was very carefully built. The biggest pipe is, I think it's a 32-foot long and 16 inches in diameter. It's a bass pipe, and it's metal. They also have an 8-foot long wooden flute pipe. The smallest pipe is the size of a pencil. And
Oh,
the
my.
biggest one is enormous. I mean,
Thick.
it's a big one. They do have a series at St. Norman, and it's free, and they'll advertise it.
Yeah.
Visiting artist series, they'll get the world-renowned organist to come in, and it was bankrolled as part of his will by Nubby Ecker. Remember Nubby? Anybody?
Yeah,
Music department.
Yeah, Pee-wee's brother.
And he, in his will, he endowed a fine arts series so that this organ would be used regularly.
Nice.
Nice.
The other night.
Last addition that they put on the organ were the trumpet stops,
Oh.
so that they could do fanfares and things like that. So that's the story
That's
of the
it.
Cassavant organ. And I'm trying to think of what else we got here. Oh yeah, this is Polo Resto.
Again, this was on the far north side over there. This was where the village gate ended up going in there.
Yep.
The building to the left there is the gas station, which the Historical Society, I believe in 2004, moved down to the entrance to Voyager Park.
Yep.
In the background on the right is the Connors Farm and the Connors Dairy.
Farm. Okay.
It was that farmhouse back there, and the field behind it was originally, not originally, but in 1928-29 was laid out as an airport. It was considered as a potential site for Brown County's airport at that time period. The article indicated that the runway was 2 miles long, which I found a little hard to believe. It was about 2 years is all they lasted.
Mm-hmm. But this was an industrial strength dairy. You can see here the factory, the pipe. They made ice cream and cheeses and dairy products of all kinds. This was a house that my grandfather bought
Oh my.
and moved it to the property that we just looked at down the hill. And it was a very big house, but look at the size of this silo. It dwarfs that house. I mean, this is, and the barn, this was a,
Yeah.
this was a 200-acre farm.
Oh my.
And there's the Historical Society, when they picked it up and moved it.
May of 2004.
There's only one guy in the pier who dresses like this.
That was the dedication.
Yeah. And you can see it there.
Recently, within the last couple of years, Marlon Hooper donated money, the Hooper family donated money for us to restore it once more.
Oh.
It's in beautiful shape.
Yeah. It's a beauty. This building, if you know what it is, you don't want to admit it in public. It was Jimmy's Bamboo Room, infamous, nasty spot. This is Dr. Lenfesty's car. I don't know what he was doing down there. Doing the research on Charlie Hall, who owned the property, there's the Bamboo Room. There is this building down across the tracks from Ricotta and Lumber. Look at the size of that thing.
And that was probably part of the Hockers brick.
Was that they
They did the brick drying in there.
Mhm.
It was in the Hockers brick property. It was a massive building.
Yeah.
Eventually went on to become Vercater lumber
Yep.
down there.
Just an aerial shot here, you can see, Ben Gimmert, this building was taken in the, I think it was the early 50s. And there's John Ziem's house, he owned the Polo Resto. These buildings here were cabins that were put on the property to accommodate the people who would travel with their horses, because across what is now Minahan Stadium grounds was a polo ground. And if you wanted to play polo, fine. Come and tether your horse up and stay in one of these little cabins.
There you go.
Play your heart out. I don't know what this building is.
You thought maybe like a Valley Unit Step? Do you remember Valley Unit Step being down there on the river? No, I'm not sure what that is there.
Yep.
And is that, you say your uncle tried to grow trees there or something? Is that
Oh,
look
that's
like
my
a tree farm?
grandfather. There's the house that you saw when it was at the Connors farm, and he put in 90 trees here and had an orchard. And I think there's about 6 of them left. So that's that
Nice.
story.
That is a story.
And what else went on up there? Here's
You're in.
the guys that played polo there. These are some notables. Ted Lamvesti, Leo Dillon, Judge John Kehoe, and I don't know Mr.
Don
Grosinger.
Grosinger, yeah. About 6 months ago, we acquired the polo, is it a mallet? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. And some balls from Paul de Tennis.
Oh,
Gave us those. We have them on display at White Pillars.
I'm surprised because it's a
There.
rich
Nice.
man's sport.
On the horses.
Kehoe,
Surprised.
Lamvesti, Grosinger, and Leo Dillon. There's a close-up of the house. And the demise of the bamboo room. St. Robert student body cried for decades after that went down.
Yeah.